Everybody, my name is Courtney Russell, and I am a current occupational therapy assistant student at Lewis and Clark Community College. And I want to answer a really big question for all of you today. And that is, what is occupational therapy? Occupational therapy is a lot of things. Let me ask you this before I get started. What does your day look like from the moment you wake up until the time you go to bed? There's a lot of things you do in a day. You get up, some people go for a walk. Some people just start eating breakfast and then they just get ready for the day. That might include showering, or maybe they shower at night, picking out what they want to wear for the day, gathering their stuff for the day, maybe for work or for school or whatever else. And then they go to work, go to school, come home, and then what does their day look like in the evening? Maybe they go on a gathering with friends, maybe they go to a Bible study, maybe they go to the gym. It could look like so many things. And occupational therapy practitioners have narrowed down our occupations or activities we do in a day to 9 different categories, and they are leisure, social participation, play, education, rest and sleep, health management, work, instrumental activities of daily living, which is like care for others, care for the home, care for pets, care for kids, or activities of daily living, and that's showering, toileting, shaving, brushing your teeth, all the things. So there's a therapeutic use of occupational therapy is the therapeutic use of our daily activities. For children, the biggest use of the biggest realm of occupational therapy, I should say, is play. Like we see here, like we see right here, it's a child's craft, play. Or over here, again, that's play. But you notice the little boy has a pair of scissors in his hand. In occupational therapy, a goal might be to be able to use scissors. It could be to get the child to hit different milestones, because there are milestones that children have to hit in order to be considered healthy. So are they crawling? Are they walking by a certain time? Are they able to chew food? Are they seeing things okay? You know, there are so many different things that you could do with a child when it comes to occupational therapy. Are they tying their shoes? Are they getting themselves dressed? Different things like that. And then there's adult occupations. And right here we see feeding. And then over here we see some leisure happening. And then there's older adult occupations. Now, older adults occupations include the IADL of being a grandparent, and then a lot of different crafts or hobbies or whatever else, because they've got the time, because they're retired and they have all the time in the world to do what they'd like. But then there's also a mental health aspect to occupational therapy. Different support group options, different health management options for your mental health. Another piece of occupational therapy, and has been one of my favorite things to learn about, is the different adaptive equipment. So what sort of adaptive equipment can we use for this person? You know, maybe they have really bad arthritis and they have a hard time gripping things, so we get them a toothbrush. Maybe they just had a recent surgery where they can't bend or twist very much, so we give them this long-handled shoehorn. Maybe they have different problems with balance, so we get them grab bars installed in their home. Maybe they need a little more support when they squat down to use the restroom, so we get them a commode or a raised toilet seat. You know, there are so many different things with adaptive equipment. And then there's also a recovery piece. Now, one of the main goals of occupational therapy is to get someone to be as independent with their activities of daily living as possible. So that could be, like we see in this first picture here, a gentleman clearly lost a leg in some way. And, you know, how can we get him walking again and doing his ADLs? Maybe this gentleman likes to go to the gym. How can we get him at the gym again? How can we get him caring for other people? How can we get him doing whatever he does on a regular basis, even though he's got this difference in his life now? Now, again, one of the biggest goals of occupational therapy is what we see right here, and that is getting people to be as independent in their occupations as possible. Now, it doesn't always happen where somebody starts here and they get here, but it is possible. And here is just a little display of my occupations. I'm a college student. I work as a caregiver. I love to go to the gym and work out. I'm an aunt. I've got nephews and 2 nieces. I love to travel and collect postcards. And this right here combines 2 of my favorite occupations, which is the St. Louis Cardinals and the TV show Friends. All in all, occupational therapy is finding the therapeutic use of what we do in a daily basis. There's a recovery aspect to it. Occupational therapy is so many things, but it's huge on the therapeutic use of our daily activities.